Abusiafo the fourth estate at the expose biaba na enya asem ketwa se Ghana fo amowo America die se Ghana embassy ewo US under President Akufo-Addo se ejumaboni a wo didi muni and you say audit findings are expose $19.3 million. That time under President Akufo-Addo, Ghana American Embassy, extorted free Ghana for more America over visa and passport application. $19.3 million. You are free more Ghana for more America no. And the President Akufo-Addo yes wo papers ho o passport ho ye bibi visa ho ye bibi nti o ko American embassy akwa ye ho nyama bia no ye de munya ye wia mo ye de musika ne bomo $19.3 million eni ye wia ye free mo ho yen konsem ni mo and our first time we have subscribing na click the notification bell on so we yan say latest news bi aba on sabek and this video is kindly sponsored by Corporate Logistica. Corporate Logistica a vehicle management company e wo Ghana ha. Ejuma mo ye no very simple. So o cars akesi cargo vehicles kesi no anase anhwa car kesi ya fashe Corporate Logistica ansa. O de kan le show mo sa o mo abepe driver maka no ejuma wo ho a wo mo de car no ebeye kabia beba kan no bia wo mo abetua bibia trese o de kan le show mo say no every month o me market ya 2 times 0598022033 only o mo entwetwe nkomo now yenko story ni mo o say forensic audit reveals how Ghana's embassy in the US extorted $19.3 million from visa and passport applicants. I say for 6 years, thousands of visa and passport applicants who turned to Ghana's embassy in Washington believed they were following standard government processes and paying the right fees. They filled out forms online, paid the service fees, and paid extra money to have their documents mailed back to them. In many cases, that was where the official process ended. Some applicants never received their passports. Others waited for months. Unknown to applicants, a different system which redirected them and imposed additional charges had been embedded. That new system generated nearly $19.4 million in what the Auditor General has now classified as irregular proceeds. The findings follow an earlier escalation of the situation that led to the temporary closure of Ghana's embassy in Washington in 2025. So, muni amubedi adansia. NDC ba bemwa no kuja to abla kwa ma order say Ghana's embassy ewa America yen closing it down. They were Washington no muni amukai. Eno crampo no enkrofo somo de ye propaganda eti okuja to ablakwa na nini na no na investigations we koso na tie o say authorities and Ghanaian officials were alerted to irregularities in its operations. Reports indicated that concerns about delays, missing documents and unclear fee structures at the mission prompted the investigations by Ghana's Auditor General. A forensic audit by the Auditor General has revealed that consular services such as visa insurance and passport processing are ordinarily administered through official government systems, including the Electronic Consular Information Management System, eSIMS, and AppTrack. These platforms are designed to manage applications, record transactions, and ensure that all statutory fees are collected through approved channels. Under Ghana's Public Financial Management Framework and Foreign Service Regulations, all such fees must be transparent, approved, and properly accounted for. However, the audit found that this structure was altered through website manipulation, external platforms, and additional charges embedded into the application process. To work online, ye process no, near direct or near the wako baby, yes, you tiase. the area osika under the NPP, and it happened under them. They didn't see this, and yes, they didn't see it. They saw it, but they were in with it. Also, the audit found that this structure was altered through website manipulation, external platforms, and additional charges embedded into the application process. Applicants who accessed the embassy's official website were redirected to privately controlled platforms where they were required to pay $29.75 per application for the return of their passports or visas. Obi wo ho because they said $29 enye sika bia. $29. Oh, I said $29 enye sika. But so nankeni kwansi ye charge o. Wa apply ye wie no. You see to $29, so to $29 na ne ya return of visa nama. You view from the audit established that the expected or actual cost of postage a year averaged $10.10, meaning each applicant paid nearly $20 above the cost of service. Ti ade no nanka obetua kra na $10.10 na so utia. But you mautia $29.75. Close to $20. These arrangements enabled the collection of dispatch/mailing fees and application support service charges from applicants, the report states. The largest component of the $19.4 million illicit fees charged came from these mailing and dispatch charges. The forensic analysis of visa and passport processing activities of the Embassy of Ghana in Washington, D.C. identified irregular financial transactions related to dispatch/mailing charges between 2019 and 2025. Application support services between 2021 and 2025. Extra merchant fees for online payments between 2020 and 2025, as well as transactions involving Fred Quatin and Steran LLC between 2019 and 2020, the report said. So her time as I did when in ACA, President Akufo-Addo time, most especially in the second term, no, and as I no way in a course. The audit report notes that the embassy discontinued the use of self-addressed return envelopes in 2023, removing all alternative method for applicants to pay for the return delivery of their documents from their end. As a result, every applicant was required to pay the fixed mailing fee regardless of actual costs incurred. Data drawn from the embassy's own systems show that more than 150,000 visa mailing transactions and thousands of passport dispatches were processed during the period under review. It is our time a year can 170,000 people and of course a yenyo passport emo. Na sankrofoni nano. Sesike ye from. The audit calculates that applicants paid a total of $6.9 million in mailing. Let me mention the actual figure. The audit calculates that applicants paid a total of $6,945,554 in mailing and dispatch fees after deducting the estimated actual postage cost of $2,357,986.40. It was found that the excess generated from mailing fees alone amounted to $4,587,567.60. In addition to mailing charges, applicants were required to pay application support service fees through the unapproved external platforms to which they were redirected. These fees were set at $67 for passport applications and $76.78 for visa applications. The audit indicates that these services were presented as necessary for completing applications, even though they were not part of officially approved government charges. Service bi wo ho a ehu hia e wo se o ye kan ho anya kan ho a or passport visa yen to me from mount. Intinitia sikano nienye. Meanwhile, enkahu. The report also identifies irregularities in payment processing arrangements. It notes that additional merchant fees were imposed through the use of the Square Payments platform, despite the absence of a formal contract governing its use. These fees further increased the cost to applicants and contributed to the overall financial exposure. These charges formed a system in which applicants paid more than the official cost of consular services. Using records from eSIMs and Abtract, the audit calculated total transactions of 21,337,446 cents linked to these activities. After accounting for actual cost of approximately 2,357,986.40 cents, the remaining 19.37 million was classified as irregular. Tisika yenya ye na sa time no ye calculate ya the real amount of money ananke also omunya 2 million. Actually say 19.3 million ya eka ichire. The audit also documents operational failures that occurred alongside these charges. Although applicants had already paid for mailing services, the embassy accumulated a backlog of 12,721 visa and passport applications between June and August 2025. During that period, the embassy managed to mail only 4,507 applications. Adi mwajisika wiye mumfa nkrofui mail nkonkomo monso muntumi mfa nko na 12,000 applications. Now wait to me the nkrofo umelia 4,000 pe ene ye no sebi ejuma ne kra untumi nye 50%. Now so omosika na mwaji edi. I think that we need to start hearing names. We need to start hearing names, you know, and all that. Now, I'll say Her Excellency Alima Mahama. Inti say Alima Mahama eye samunya mwewidi so no na ye say first na ye pese President Akufo-Addo efano as the running mates NPP focus on Mompe Oba as running mate. No, I stand to be corrected, but I think say you know. Inti Alima Mahama ena oye ambassador, head of mission from 2021 to 2024. Into say Her Excellency Alima Mahama served as ambassador and head of mission from 2021 to 2024. As ambassador and head of mission, Her Excellency Alima Mahama exercised ultimate supervisory and financial authority over the embassy's operations. She signed the general contract for services between the embassy and Travel Ghana Secure Data Center, thereby formalizing the outsourcing of passport and visa dispatch functions to a related party, with unauthorized fees charged to applicants. Inti yabo maami ni din se Alima Mahama ono no sign ye. Yabo ni din se Alima Mahama ono eno sign ye. Yenhwe ni nim se Alima Mahama oye hwan. Inti sende ye say 19 million akwa akopie wo baabi a. Eni ebusuafo Alima Mahama yi. Owon sem bebre wo se oba beyi ano etre Ghana for. So this is Alima Mahama. Oni. Alima Mahama. Oni. Wait there. Oral. Case aba. The report concludes that the irregularities were enabled by weak internal controls and inadequate oversight, allowing unauthorized platforms and staff-linked entities to operate within official systems. The redirects were implemented directly within the website source code, showing administrative level access, the report states. These arrangements allow staff-linked entities to handle passport dispatch, visa processing communications, and payment arrangements without appropriate authorization or oversight, the audit states. These irregular charges were imposed through the manipulation of the embassy's official website, the creation of parallel digital platforms, and the compulsory redirection of applicants, the report states. The Auditor General recommended that these monies be retrieved from the officials involved in the crime and sanctioned accordingly. So you say Alima Mahama, yenkoji sikani free neho, ni yenchin intum. That is the audit, forensic audit report. Our Auditor General, Ediaba. Where the Iyoko, NPP for Posanso be match passo.
Ghana ni bia wutie me no. Book we eye asset ba ko a e wo se wo keep e wo fie. To book we ma wo ho. To ma oba. To ma obi biara osombo e wo wabrabo mu. Wadamfo obi a opese odi ye wabrabo mu bia no. To sa book we your friend the Ghanaian investor. Na sa book we be show different forms of investment a obetumi aye e wo Ghana ha. Licensed investments. The first one eye ade bia your friend emergency fund. Book we bet show send you set up emergency fund. Abrabo aye boy bibia betumi ato. If you have an emergency fund, ebeba na aba be save you. Oka betumi ase wo kwan so. Obetumi ayare, oba betumi ayare, nini na emergency fund no ebe take control of all those situations. Book no be sanso atre wade bia ye fe na endowment fund. A obetumi dia protect wo ho any future. Na sa endowment fund no nyame mpengu okokonya accident na untumi nye adwuma bioma, it will take care of you for the rest of your life. Book no besan so atrel senya obe set up a personal pension fund. Enkrofo bebre eye adwuma wie ekọ retirement omukọ retirement we no mo ho aba betwe omo o set up a personal pension fund. That will not be your case. Most importantly, book we betre how to invest in the Ghana Stock Exchange. Now Ghana Stock Exchange investment, basically, it means you are buying ownership of Ghanaian companies. Now Ghana Stock Exchange, it is one of the best performing markets in the whole world. A lot of people are making money from the Ghana Stock Exchange, but they don't know how to invest in it. Bookwe, a better idea. Your investment be why a friend no mutual fund. Bookwe better how to invest in a mutual fund. Now mutual fund, you don't need to be rich to invest in a mutual fund. I remember an example. Yamfane say wa woba fresh. Now wa per license mutual fund e wo Ghana ha say opese odi usikashim. Say o to me invest 500 cedis every single month. E wo a Ghanaian mutual fund mo. By the time I wo ba be 19 years no. Na wa dane millionaire. Yamfane say o wo fa CB we di 10. Opese da chi bi odi ye. Every month for 500 cedis e she mutual fund mu e ma no. By the time I wobano and our fast no obedi 29 years no na oye millionaire. Wankasa wutie me we di 40. Nanso wo hwa onye investment bia eno ane say obeye mutual fund every month for 500 cedis eshem. By the time obedi 59 years no na wenya 1 million Ghana cedis. Into mutual fund no, that is how it works. Small money every single month. By the time embre ebebano nesikano ayekese book we better sanya mani na sa ope book no ni PDF anase ni twi video a free anase WhatsApp number na ewo book ni so sisia na sa we Ghana ni na wa brochure na ope hard copy of the book a very simple call Amazon na search for the Ghanaian investor, place the order bibia obi a be ship e dia bro medase.